Yeah, and that's kind of like what I liked about it. You had a really good breadth of concept between. I mean, literally, you actually briefly even talked about wholesaling,
Yeah,
right? Like you didn't present it that way, but you actually talked about, hey, you do mailing, do direct outreach. You kind of talk about it in a way that doesn't use those particular terms, but it's like, if this is your passion, this is the direction you can go in, and
of course.
it gives you kind of like the questions or direction on where to go. And in a book that's appropriately length, I think it's a good way to go. If I had to compare it to Rich Dad Poor Dad, I think yours was a lot better.
Thank you. Thank you. But, again, the goal is to educate folks. And based on the feedback that I've been receiving from my own coaching students and clients that read the book, that have coached with me, I know it helped them. So my hope is that it'll continue helping other people to start investing, generate additional streams of passive income, and build their wealth and leave a legacy.
Yeah, it should, right? So you got to start somewhere. And just to kind of paraphrase some of the concepts, you talk about if you don't have, okay, so let's talk about energy, right? Say you don't have the energy to sit there and pound hammers for 3 years to fix a house and learn how to do construction, right? You talk about, okay, cool. If you don't have that, then maybe get a job doing Uber or something to raise a little bit of extra income if that's the problem. If your problem is not that you don't have too much money, but you need to figure out a way to alleviate some of your taxes, right? And I'm a big fan. I think it's your moral duty to pay as little taxes as possible.
Agreed. Agreed.
Not not by lying, right?
Officially, absolutely, legally.
Legally, illegally, because when you're getting discounts on taxes, that's the government saying you're doing a public service that we cannot do well. Because if we could do it more efficiently, we just would.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, there are many tax deductions available out there, and it's your duty as an individual either research it on your own or speak with a tax or CPA professional to help guide you in that direction. And anyone and everyone can take advantage of it. It's a matter of having that desire and taking that first step and deciding, yes, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And the more you know about your current position, the better you can do. So like
100%.
you talk about syndication probably more than anything else in the book. And I love syndication. Why? Because my entrepreneurs that do well, this is the best, most direct path in my mind for them to focus on what they do well
Hmm.
and to let the money they'd have to pay in taxes make them future wealth and legacy wealth.
Agreed, agreed. And Phil, I'm glad you brought up the syndication. I don't know if everyone is aware of what it means, but I'm happy to explain what.
What is syndication? I don't know, dear. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, so syndication is essentially a legal structure, uh, which is usually the partnership structure. And within the partnership, there are two subgroups or subcategories, if you will. One subgroup is people that are limited partners or passive investors. These are the folks that decided, okay, I don't have the desire or the bandwidth to look for properties, buy them, manage, and do all the work on a daily basis. But I do have the funds that I want to invest. And so I'm going to passively invest while someone else, and that someone else is the other group, the general partners, the operators, or the syndicators, which all of these terms are used interchangeably. These are the people that are doing all the work, the folks like myself. We are finding the properties, buying them, managing them, and paying distributions to our investors. So when these two groups decide to create a partnership, they work together. One is doing all the work, the other one is just staying passive and observing what the general partners are doing. That legal structure is called syndication.
Awesome. And every state kind of handles them differently, and it's kind of fun. So you really have to get a CPA in there to help you out. Attorneys are great at setting up. Generally, they're not great at understanding the tax implications. So you kind of have to,
Not for tax implications, but yeah, for the legal structure, you do need to leverage the help of securities attorney to set it up correctly.
yeah, yeah. And if you're looking to become a limited partner, have a regular attorney review the contract, do some research on the syndicates, right? See how legit they are. Check out their history, have some fun. Your book. I'm not going to kind of go through that now because your book gives a lot of good advice on that. I understand you had a wonderful experience once when you had to pay for a bunch of legal costs.
Of course, everything comes with the pain points, and I would be lying to you if I said that everything was smooth and hunky dory. Of course, there were obstacles on my way, and when I started investing, ChatGPT was not around, so a lot of it had to come from doing the research. And at first, I didn't know what kind of research to do, so I learned the hard way about the extensive research and what kind of due diligence I need to do before investing. And yes, some of it is covered in my book, of course.
Yeah, it's a good story. I encourage everybody to check it out. If you're looking to get into this kind of stuff, find some real people to talk to. So go through this kind of book. It could be others, but I recommend this one obviously because we're talking about it, and I read it and it's good.
Thank
So it's a good primer. It's a very good primer. And on top of that, Alina has her own group to help you out. It's good to check that out. It's good to check out your local groups. Some of them are better or worse than others. I've been part of various real estate investment groups. Some will run you over, right? You got to be careful. Some out there are vampires, but live and learn, right? But talk, right?
course.
Get into it. Talk. Ask the questions. Don't be scared. Now we have ChatGPT. You can kind of play with it. Chat's not going to run you right on this. Find real people. Get the better questions. And I even with chat, right? If you know the questions to ask, it's like, you know what, that's a good real answer. And it would have never told you. And it would be like, okay, now in this case, if you're worried about, going to prison, here's what you have to worry about, right? If you're worried, these are the clauses. Oh yeah, you should have that clause too. Obviously, everybody knows that. ChatGPT is like that, right? She's not super sweet friendly.
Yes, yeah, and if you decide to passively invest with someone, I would say the biggest secret is um, asking an open-ended question and letting the other person, the operator, speak, and just listen carefully to what they're sharing with you about their track record, their experience. The biggest red flag that I would say is if you ask someone if you made any mistakes and they tell you no, I never made any mistake. So I would definitely run away from that person because
That person's full of crap.
every single one of us makes mistakes. So if someone says I never made any mistake, to me that's like a big no and complete turn off.
Every project that's been running for more than 2 years has scars.
Of
There,
course.
there's some kind of problem there. A drug dealer that really moved in. I'm not going to say anything. Read the book. A toilet that's probably could have just been fixed easily, or a real plumbing problem where they had to rip out the street. Right? It crazy stuff happens if you're thinking about being a syndicate yourself and you haven't done real estate before, you haven't done construction. I don't know, right? I think you need to be in the industry a little bit before you kind of try to organize one of these projects.
Agreed.
But you could start by doing a smaller project, a nice house or something like that. Try to keep it to 2 or 3 people. I don't know the rules on this anymore. I've fallen out of touch with that, but there's stuff you can do, and there's exceptions to security rules that allow you to do it properly. Just
100%.
find a good friend to do that with.
Joining mastermind helps a lot. Reading about it, learning from others, attending conferences, and meeting like-minded entrepreneurs helps
Yeah.
as well.
And masterminds in the area that you want to invest in,
Yes,
right?
100%.
Go there, just be there for a little bit. Don't say, oh my goodness, I heard Chicago is the best place in the world to buy McDonald's, right? Go there for a little bit and join the club of McDonald's owners, right?
Exactly.
See what they say about it. Go to France and see how they're super excited about farmers dumping poop in their McDonald's, right? Everybody has their stories in the
Yes,
industry.
that definitely so.
the If you are just starting out, right? and you had to choose between starting a business or starting a real estate project. You have like $15,000 in your bank and you have 40 hours a week to go. Which way would you encourage somebody to start? What would be the questions or the way you take it?
Yeah, the main question would again be, what am I passionate about? What am I trying to achieve? What is my big why? And that's where Simon Sinek book comes in about the why. I don't remember the exact title, but it's one of his most famous books about the big why. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, the reasons behind that, that helps you to determine your true passion. So for me, it's real estate all day long, but for someone else, it could be starting a business. There is no one size fits all answer in this case. It always is, as my tax professor in college used to say, the answer is it depends. So it depends here as well.
I love that. I've seen times when project make less money or lose money, and the investors in the project make all the money.
Yeah,
And I've seen investors lose money, and the guy running the product. I've seen two things: the guy managing the product either runs away or does terrible things, or just is the only one that wins on it. So it can go both ways. If you're going to get into it, really, Alina's right. Go with your passion, because if it's not really your passion, then you're losing money and you're not going to feel like you're learning things. You're not going to feel like you're developing. You're not going to feel like the next turn is going to be better, right? You're just going to be suffering and trying to figure out how to get out of it.
exactly.
We are almost out of time, and you had so in your book you had so many good things talking about fixed mindsets, intellectual wealth, the process of taking your kids to understand it, the stories of your friend in Texas where she had to boil water because people were dying. Like, do you guys, like, I don't know if you guys listening can remember this, but what was it, like 4 years ago when Texas froze over and people died in Texas from cold?
Yeah, it was insane. And if you don't have the life skills, you're not prepared, then you're not going to be able to survive. So very critical to, again, comes down to teaching your kids not just personal finance, but also life skills, foundational skills that they can take advantage of in situations like this.
And resilience. Guys, go camping. Learn to suffer a little bit,
Exactly.
right? Get some ramen noodles, get 5 gallons of water, go camping, and see what it is to swap bugs for 3 hours once in your life. Little things. There's better ways.
Forget the noodles. Take raw potato and try to bake it on a fire.
Yes. Yeah. Or or even better, right? Just get some marshmallows.
Oh yeah,
Go have fun and start to see what it is to play with fire and chocolate.
I love it. Yeah, what can be better than that?
You can do it fun too, right? It doesn't have to be all suffering and blood like regular entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
You can make it easy and fun. Dear, our time is almost over. Can you do me a favor and recommend me, based on this conversation, one of your favorite books that the audience would enjoy?
Yeah, one of my favorite books is still within the world of finance. It's ancient, it's over 125 years old at this point, but I absolutely love it. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clayson. I think it teaches the foundational lesson that even though it was true at that time and still true to this day. So I always highly recommend it to anyone and everyone. You don't have to be an entrepreneur or a real estate investor to read this book. I think you will benefit tremendously if you read it, because there is a story, but there is also a life lesson behind this story. So I always recommend it. The Richest Man in Babylon, George Clayson.
I got this actually from your book when you were talking about it. I think last week Amazon had it for like not Amazon, but Audible had it for like $5.
Hmm.
Right. Good good reference. Good book.
Thank you. Thanks.
Beautiful. Dear, can I give you the last word?
Thank you, Phil. Phil, this has been amazing. I truly, truly enjoyed this interview. You're always fun. I always enjoy having conversations with you, and I hope we come back to this at some point in the future.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having another call with you. Definitely, I wish I had more time to dig into some of your SaaS experience and some of the tricks that really made the difference between how they got over that hurdle from concepts to being in a place where they had to buy real estate so that they weren't paying so much darn taxes. Because I want all my guys, all my friends to make lots of money, to pay lots of taxes, but only pay 1% of taxes or whatever. Like to really do it right. That's the American dream.
We'll do that. Sounds good.
Beautiful. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.